Hello, welcome guys. Welcome to my channel of Table Tennis Calculus. This is my first official video after the introduction video, and this is about forehand loops. You are in luck. After my years of training, both by myself and officially under two different coaches mainly, I've had a very solid forehand and pretty much a killer against anyone. It can be a weapon against even up to 2,400 people. It's not that easy for them to block when I execute it well. So I'm gonna share all of my details, and you're in luck because that's after like hundreds and hundreds of dollars of training. That's tens of hours or hundreds of hours of training. So you're very much in luck, and I'm gonna share those details with you as much as I can in as many perspectives from as many perspectives as I can, so that you as my viewer from all kinds of background will be able to understand it. As long as you follow through everything I say, you will be able to feel what I'm trying to tell you. Instead of just giving you one way of description and good luck with interpreting that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you all perspectives that I know of. So forehand. So forehand, the basic motion, sure, it could be as small as a 90-degree angle of your arm, just retracting your forearm. That could be your forehand, but that's usually only good for close table encounters, because once you're in a mid-table, mid-distance, that's not enough power, and it's sometimes you can do this in mid-distance for only like easy counters, but this is usually for close table. And the very first thing about forehand, I gotta tell you, it's never just about the arm, right? Most of the time, actually, you can actually hit a pretty damn strong forehand without swinging your forearm at all. I mean, that's the way I have been doing for many years until the last 1 year, and I realized my game has improved so much once I incorporated the forearm. Whereas some players actually they incorporated their forearm very early, but they barely swing their upper arm. They barely swing their waist, turn their hip, and thrust their legs. And these are all very important. And yeah, they're not doing it. So I'm giving you the pearls right now. So forehand, 6 components to a powerful and stable and killer forehand. First, your legs. Your legs, okay? Actually, sorry, 7 components. I'm forgetting the eyes. First is the eyes. Right here. Ouch, did I just poke myself? The eyes. First, you need to judge the ball. What kind of incoming spin? What kind of trajectory? What kind of displacement is that ball coming? You have to judge it very correctly, but you want to leave some room for margin of error. So you want to know, basically in your mind, you visualize the ball coming in a line, in a kind of a curved parabola, and then on the bounce, there's this path that the ball travels. You want to visualize it in your head. The moment your opponent hits the ball, you have all the information from the time your opponent starts preparing the shot. Actually, before he even does that, when you hit the ball over, you know exactly what spin you're putting on. You know where the ball is going to go. You know the speed, you know the curve, you know the spin, where the ball is going. The moment the ball leaves your racket is the moment you start observing your opponent and see how he reacts to this ball. You naturally know that if you put a no-spin ball and your opponent is lifting his racket so high and ready to smash it, it's going to go to the net or barely get over the net if he's lucky, right? So, or if you give him a top spin loop, very spinny loop, you use a lot of risk, a lot of friction, and that guy is starting his racket low like this, you know it's going to go out of bounds for sure, or he's going to have a very bad contact so that it can take pace off the ball, and when the ball comes over, there will be barely any top spin, right? So by the time your ball leaves your racket, you need to start observing your opponent, the guy you're trying to destroy. Okay, it's war. It's war. Okay, once you're playing a match or a game, unless you guys are friends, like for real, it's a war. Okay, so you observe your opponent the moment it leaves your racket. So that's the first component, your eyes. You watch where the ball how he's gonna hit the ball, and you anticipate where the ball is gonna go. You visualize in your mind the path of the ball, and basically within that anticipation, it may be more than one line. It could be multiple lines. Like it's possible that a little bit different here, a little bit different there, from the way the ball comes at you. So you leave some margin for error, and then your legs, you move into position. You move in the position. That's your first thing. Is that I'm a righty, so the video may show me as a lefty, but you get the point. So you move in the position. You gotta use your legs. If the ball's over there, you go over here. If the ball chases you, you do 2 steps. You get over here. If the ball's over there, you move quickly over there. Sometimes you may have to move multiple steps. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not just like 2 steps and you can loop. Sometimes you have to go like 2 steps and then 2 steps. Sometimes you just basically, when you don't have time, you may have to do a jump over. But anyway, it starts from the legs. If your loop doesn't start from your legs, you can make it. The ball can still be relatively fast, but it's never going to be a killer forehand. It's not going to be that spinny. It's not going to be that fast. Okay, well, not because when you let go of your legs, you're actually leaving, by my estimation, 50% of the power and control. Without the legs, you lose 50% of the power, control, stability, spin, and all that. 50% of it comes from the legs. Okay, because we have a saying in Chinese, your force comes from the ground. Okay, if you don't have this, this little leg here, you have no force. So legs is the second component, right? First is eyes, right? What's the third one? You have eyes, legs. Third one is hip. What does hip mean? You need to turn your hip. You see, this is hip. I'm not talking about the waist. This is the waist. I'm talking about the hip. Hip is just this. Okay, basically, your leg is in position now. Once your eye judges the ball, your legs move in position, then your hip steps forward. The hip doesn't turn. The hip snaps up basically. Just you get your little thrust up like forward. You get this. The ball propels like a rocket. Well, rocket accelerates slow. Well, actually, it accelerates really fast, but it don't feel as fast. It accelerates like a bullet, right? Like a bazooka. No, I don't know, man. It just accelerates like quickly. So that's the third component, right? You need to work on this. My coach tell me, you may not need to recoil your arm, but you definitely always need to recoil your hip. Now, see if your arm doesn't move, just with the hip, there's a snap here. Okay, so that's the third one. What's the fourth one? Now it's your waist. Your waist is kind of natural, but you need to be wary of it. You need to be relaxed. If you're not relaxed with the waist, you snap, but your waist is tightened, then your force won't be able to pass through from below, from the ground. Every force we get it from the ground. Okay, we are human beings. We thrive on the earth. We borrow our force from the earth for the table tennis god. Okay, so you want the force to come through to your racket. You need to relax your waist. I mean, relatively tighten your stomach, but you need this left and right to be relaxed. That's why people, before a match, sometimes they do this because they want to relax it. So you need to relax your waist, snap the hip. Well, first you need to plant your foot, plant your foot solid, right? And then turn your hip, relax your waist. And what's the fourth one, right? Eyes, legs, hip, waist. That's the fourth one. The fifth one is your arm, right? Okay, it's actually getting hot because I swing so much. Anyway, so this is a AWX event. Never mind that. Yeah. So the fifth one after waist is your arm. So actually, when you get ready, your legs. The moment your legs plan you plan your foot on the ground, it's the time when you turn your hip, and you also extend your arm. That's when you're also ready to extend your arm. So in close distance, you may not need to do too much. You may not even need to extend the arm at all. In a close table situation, you simply turn your hip is enough. This is what my coach told me, and it's super helpful. You don't have time close table. You just need to be fast close table, like Liu Shiwen or Mil Hirano. You it puts tremendous pressure on your opponent. You don't need a one-shot kill, because with one-shot kill you need to recoil. You need to recoil the arm and go like boom. It's too slow. Even if you hit it, you're able to make it. If for some reason he blocks back, you have no next shot. I've tried it many times myself. With a big motion, the ball comes back. I'm caught unawares, and I can only do a lame block. I can't continue to even do like a good block or anything. I just basically get caught surprised. I look and be like, ooh, that's no good. So, close table, just no swing back the arm, just legs and hip and waist. The waist, you don't even need to think about the waist, just relax the waist. So plant your foot. First, watch the ball, plant your foot, snap your hip, turn your waist. Okay? And so you don't swing your back arm, but your forearm still need to swing a little bit. So that's basically the eyes, leg, hip, waist, upper arm fifth. This is sixth component, your forearm. You need to swing this a little bit, because without this little bit, you may not be able to generate spin on the ball. With the body swinging the paddle, the paddle goes in a motion that has no friction. It's just all hit, right? You may be able to swing it without swinging. See, if I don't swing this forearm, this is all hit. If you turn it like this and add friction, it's not enough. It's super bad contact. It's a thin contact, and you can't put any force on it. So you need the forearm, right? Especially the close table. In far table, mid table, you may be able to get by without using this as much, or even almost nothing. Some people swing like this, swing like this. I've seen some crazy loopers, almost no forearm snap, just whole arm, whole body. In the far table or mid table, that may be okay, but of course, if you want to get over 2200, that's not going to be okay. So, but in the close table, you definitely need to snap this to add not only the force but spin, right? And do a forehand, your left arm, it doesn't come here, it doesn't go there, it doesn't come here. It kind of stays around your belly, and naturally turns with your body, right? So that's the sixth component. And finally, you get the wrist. So how much wrist should you use? I don't recommend the kind of ugly way the European does it, or some skinny guys. They dip their wrist so much, it's like they're deformed. The wrist is like this. Or the natural ready, it's like this. See, naturally it should be just straight. Not like this. It should be just straight, natural. And you should dip a little bit. Just naturally let it dip. But some Western guys, they go crazy. Maybe they're skinny, so they have more flexibility there. So naturally they dip too much. And I don't agree with that, but naturally a little bit deep is good, because then you get this. You get this thrust, right? See, this is a lower to upper thrust. This is good for generating spin and lifting the ball. And there's another type of wrist motion. This is where my calculus come from. Most people don't deal with this shit online. It's too detailed. People don't get it. The other one goes like this. Now, your wrist doesn't have to dip too much, but you go sideways. You see? So you can go like this. And some people say this is just a flat hip motion. Yeah, that's a flat hip motion. That's what Mima Ito does so much. The Japanese girls team, why they smash so damn hard? Mio Hirano and Mima Ito, they smash like they can punch through a man's body. Why? Because when they smash, they use this. So I'm not saying you should use the smash motion to loop, but you should combine this with this. Combine them so you become something like you dip a little bit and you cock back your wrist, right? So this is what I call cocking back your wrist. Cock back your wrist and then snap front. Cock back, snap front. So you dip your wrist a little bit and you cock back a little bit. So with both of these in place, your wrist can generate tremendous spin and power. Now, be careful. The reason why this is the very last step, the 7th step, especially Europeans, use nothing but the wrist. Nothing but the wrist. Like, to them, everything else is secondary. They might as well be a fucking pair of eyes with one wrist. It wouldn't make any difference the way they play. You know, they could have no body. They could just have a wrist and the eyes to look at the ball and the wrist to hit the ball. That's it. You know, there's all backhand, they all wrist, obviously, all wrist. You know, and then forehand is also all wrist. Well, maybe they need an arm to swing, but so be careful. Don't optimize this step until you've mastered the rest. First, don't go in the wrong order. First, you need to practice the eyes, the judgement. If your judgement is wrong, I don't care how perfect your technique is. Your technique could be malong. If you judge the incoming ball wrong, you're not going to make your loop, or your loop is not going to be that good. So don't mess up the order. The eyes, the legs, the hip, the waist, relax, and then the upper arm, depending on front or back, whether you want to cock back or not. Front, you know, in a close table, you don't want to cock back the upper arm. And then the forearm, you almost always, you need to use it. Always, basically. And then finally, the wrist, you focus this at the very last step. So you dip a little bit, you cock back a little bit, and then you swing with this. Like, you see this? Like, I'm doing both. I both dip my wrist and I cock back a little bit. So go from a lower right to upper left motion, kind of like this. Try this, you know, try this with the ball. Nothing but your wrist, just like that. The ball already goes zoom. Your ball could be faster than some big guy, you know, he smashes with the whole body, and it's still weaker than you doing this. So ping pong is about skill. Even though I'm a very built man myself, I mean, I wouldn't advertise this, but ping pong is not about muscles. Because I have lost to a girl who was like 9 years old. It was a nightmare. She was like 20, 30, and I was 1950, and I was up 2-0 because I got her with my serves, with my crazy serves, you know. I had pretty good serves, which we're gonna go into in another video. I got her 2-0 up, and then she slowly worked down my serves. She has no power to kill me with any loops or smashes, but she just every shot she makes, she puts it in a location that's uncomfortable to me. So eventually, I can't return all of them. Eventually, I mean, I return them, but they're in a bad position. So every return, she makes the ball just a little bit more challenging for me to reach. Eventually, every point takes like 5, 7, 9 exchanges for her to win the point. But eventually, she did win. She came back, you know, in the fifth. In the fifth, I basically had no chance. The fifth game was like 11-6 or 5. Basically, you know, I was just winning the lucky points. So here's the thing. You know, if a 30-year-old grown man with a lot of muscles can lose to a 9-year-old girl, what do you need muscles for? Do not play ping pong with your muscles, or you are as dumb as your muscles are. Okay? Don't be a dumb guy in ping pong. If you're not a smart guy, if you want to be dumb, don't play table tennis. Go lift weights, okay? I mean, lifting weights is, you know, there are smart people who lift weights, but you get my point, right? Lifting weights doesn't require a lot of brains. The simpler, the better, actually. Just repeat the same thing. Stick with what works. It's all that matters there. So yeah, with the wrist. So finally, you combine everything, okay? You combine everything. You combine the 7 steps. You train this every day. One more thing, like every day, right? When you warm up, you're not just warming up. You're not just like, okay, whatever. You know, I'm just trying to get the feel. No, don't do that. Try to incorporate everything, even if it's just a little bit. Try to incorporate everything. The ball is there. Okay, I move here, a little bit change. Even if you don't need to move, try to move also a little bit. You know, get you motivated, get you warmed up quicker, get you more in sync with the body. Ping pong is never just about the arm. So do not do that. Just do it with the whole body. So even if the ball is right here, you don't need to move. You hit and you hop. You hit and you hop. You hit and hop. Hit and hop. What's the hop for? The hop is for relaxation. After you hit, you naturally tighten up. So after you hit, you hop, it naturally relaxes your whole body and get ready for the next shot. This is very, very useful, especially for the legs. If you don't do a small hop, your leg muscle are kind of tightened and you won't be able to move. So hit, hop, hit, hop, hit, hop, hit, hop, hit hard. Of course, I go a little too low if it's top spin and close table, just like that. Yeah. See? Oh yeah. I think I forgot one very important element of forehand, and this is another pearl of wisdom for you. You are welcome. This is by far the single most important element in forehand. And you will thank me now, you'll thank me later as well. You will always thank me, you always owe me. Remember, I tell you this. I've been also learning from my coach. So, I mean, I didn't invent this myself. The forehand most important part about forehand is you need to use your balance to hit the ball. They call it the balance transfer. Okay. You get ready, you come down, or you come down your legs. Even if your racket is up, you still come down. When you hit, you transfer your weight all the way from right to left, right to left. The point of this is that you're hitting the ball with your body. Okay? All that shit that you do with your legs and your hip is so that you can thrust your over 100-pound of body, assuming you're an adult, some people 200 pounds, you thrust your pounds, everything, you charge up all your power and your force, everything up to this racket, and you release it, you unleash it by changing this whole balance into the ball. Okay? If you can do all of that, that's eight points of wisdom for you. If you can do all of that, I guarantee you, your loop's not going to be easy to block. So, you're very welcome. It's been like 20 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I need to go take my baby to the hospital. I mean, no, to the doctor. So that's it for today. I'm sure there's some points I missed. Given that this is a table tennis calculus video, it's impossible to go into all of the little details. So let me know what you want to know. I can always record a follow-up video to explain what else is left. And once again, you are welcome. Don't forget that I taught you the great forehand of China, okay? And I thank you, my coach, of course. I also thank my coach. My coaches, they taught me everything I needed to know. I mean, okay, so leave me comments and let me know what you want to know in the follow-up video. Otherwise, in my next video, it's going to be about serves.